duck's massive. Oh my god, look at the size of this horse. It's a duck-sized horse.
Hello and welcome to episode 35 of Duck-Sized Horses podcast, the comedy podcast that aims to answer the would you rather questions you've hopefully always wanted answered.
Welcome.
I'm Nathan Herat.
And I'm Jack Higgins. I got so excited.
You got so excited, like a kid at Christmas over there, mate.
Yeah. Welcome back.
We're back. We are back in DSH podcast. Before people write in, we're socially distancing. We've been very careful, haven't we, to make sure that we could do this.
We have indeed.
At the right time.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody for bearing with.
Yes,
for all
thank you
this,
so
this
much.
time as well. And obviously, it goes without saying. I hope everybody listening has been safe and well,
Absolutely.
and looking after each other during this time as well. If you've been wondering where we've been, we've just been keeping away from each other. We could have recorded.
We could have done it on Zoom and stuff.
In separate places, but it's part of the reason we do this is because we like hanging out together.
We do.
So it's partly for us as well. It's just nice to be back in the same room, back in DSH HQ.
It is lovely. And I don't want to kind of get too gushy early on, but here we go, Higgins. Genuinely, when I saw your car pull up, I genuinely got a bit choked up. That is how happy I was to see you, mate. Genuinely.
Oh, thank you.
It's lovely to have you back.
Oh, good. Oh.
How has your sort of, as we come out of lockdown, I suppose? I refuse to say we're out of lockdown completely because I think that makes people a bit complacent.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say, as lockdown is eased, how has lockdown been for you and the family?
It's been all right, thank you, mate. It's been
Good.
Been okay, been manageable. And yourself?
Yeah, good. I seem to have spent it, we talked a little bit kind of off air, I've spent it mainly working and also becoming kind of mixture of Monty Don and Mrs. Beaton in terms of I've done a lot of like baking, a lot of gardening, so...
Baking's definitely, I think, is something everybody's been jumping on with.
Yes.
It's been some fantastic creations and some not so fantastic ones. I was telling you just off there, and this is a little word of advice for everybody. If you have a little Google courgette and lime cake, don't click the first one on BBC Good Food. Click on a different one on there. First one, or more to the point, read the comments that will let you know if it's a good recipe or a bad one. Suffice to say, I picked the bad one.
And it didn't really work.
No, but I've just had a very lovely slice of lemon cake.
Yes.
And in cake news as well, we've just had some fruit salad donuts.
We have. Well. They were amazing.
So good.
Yeah, very good.
Long-time listeners to the show will know we're a big fan of cakes.
Yes.
And a big fan of Mr. Kipling cakes in particular. But these were actually donuts from Morrison's, which I have to say, they're the pinnacle of donuts.
Yeah, and I've got to be honest, I'm not a big donut fan, but that was very, very agreeable. I enjoyed that. Once you get over, as I said, the kind of the shock of, once you bite into it, it's a fruit salad sweet, isn't it, inside, with the kind of yellow and pink appearance. And my brain is more savoury kind of focused, and I thought it was cheese and ham at first, which
I'll be
threw
honest,
me a bit.
The look of it does look like a donut filled with primula spread.
Yes, yeah, that's a great description.
But yeah, wholeheartedly recommend them.
Yes.
Anyway, we're here to do episode 35, the long anticipated return as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Before we jump on with our question, we've got a little bit of admin to.
We've got quite a lot of admin. As Jack said, thank you first of all to everyone who has sort of been patient and waited for this episode. Thank you to everyone that's sort of got in touch with us over time. We've had a competition entry, which we will get onto a bit later, and a kind of a personal thank you from both of us, isn't it, Higgins, to Curtis, who, bless him, sent in a lovely list of questions for the spreadsheet fantastic. Of wonder. They are absolutely incredible.
Curtis, honestly, mate, this list of questions is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So, and he has he's received his duck already pre-signed. This was before COVID. Bless him, he sent it to us, and obviously we haven't been on air, I suppose is the phrase. So, thank you to him. Last sort of bit of admin, I suppose, is the score, and I've almost forgotten about the scores.
Yeah,
to be
same
fair.
as well.
They are currently Nathan Herat 18, Jack Higgins 17.
Oh,
so you've
wow.
been, you have been, if I remember rightly, and I'm sure people will correct me, I think you are on a 5-episode winning streak or something like that.
Oh, so this could be the one that brings us back neck and neck.
It could be all level.
So if the more eagle-eyed or eagle-brained or eared or nosed among you will know that 18 add 17 is 35. But we shared a point for, we give ourselves a point each for one. So
we've shared a few.
There is one extra point in that tally.
Yeah.
Before you write in.
Yeah.
And get all Carol Vorderman or Rachel Riley about it.
Yeah.
With your maths. But yeah, thank you for, again, just echoing everything that Nathan has said for keeping in touch and listening away. It's been really nice to see people still listening on our website.
Yeah, it's been great.
It's been going on.
Last two final bits of admin, I should say. We'll come on to the sort of just a reminder, if you like, a refresher for people, because it's been quite a long time since we've done one of these. But I think a last thank you, Higgins, and I'm sure you'll echo it, is just to all the key workers across the country and across the world that have been working so incredibly hard during this pandemic.
And that still are.
And still are, absolutely. Just, I think, a massive thank you. I'm sure it will mean a lot to them that we're saying thank you, but I think it's important that we do so. And just a refresher, Higgins. So for anyone, if this is your first episode, welcome. We're delighted to have you. What is this about, Higgins?
So, as you said in our intro, we're answering all the would you rather questions you've hopefully always wanted answered. So the question's going to come in a little moment's time, and it's going to be, would you rather do X or would you rather do Y? So if you listen to episode 1 of our podcast, is where our name came from. It's the classic question: would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Yes.
And that's the whole theme of the show. So there's lots of silly would you rather questions in the meantime. We're going to argue it out. We're going to pick out both sides of each other's argument, or pick apart the different arguments if we both end up picking the same.
Yeah.
And at the end of the episode, whoever's made the most convincing argument wins a point.
Yeah, it's that simple, really. It's not complicated.
So with all that in mind,
you ready, mate?
I'm ready for this question.
Right, so after I've read the question, we'll sort of ping over to the polls, because we did a Twitter poll as well, which is great. Thank you to those people that got involved. So here we are, Higgins. Question 35 for episode 35. Would you rather have a pet that chooses someone else or that chooses you? Before you answer, let's go to the good people of Twitter.
So it has been a landslide.
Really?
100% in favour of a pet that chooses you.
Right.
So probably do well to a little bit of explaining.
Yes, please.
Here as well. I know you wanted a little bit of clarification on what the question meant. So the two choices are, would you rather have a pet that chooses someone else or a pet that chooses you? So if you had a pet that chooses someone else, this is a pet that you own, that you are responsible for, you buy all its food, you take it to the vet and everything, but it would rather be elsewhere.
Okay.
It would rather be with someone else.
It's not keen on your company.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So that probably gives a lot of backing to a lot of people's choices and why it's gone 100%.
Yeah.
So a pet that chooses you, is one. It's an animal that is besotted with you and your company.
Oh, delightful.
So so that question again is: would you rather have a pet that chooses someone else or a pet that chooses you? And it's me to answer first, isn't it?
You to answer first.
I would rather have a pet that chooses me.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I think it's lovely. I've got 2 cats.
You do.
And much to the amusement of myself and the annoyance of my wife Abby, both cats prefer my company.
Oh no!
So they will always sit on my lap. So Luna likes sitting on my lap. Salem likes sitting as close to my face as he can possibly get. He also likes headbutting my chin. A couple of times he's tried biting my chin as well, but in a little kind of
affectionate way.
Yeah, like a little nip just
right,
to
yeah.
So yeah, that's what, and it's very lovely to be loved by another animal.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm sure they're just amusing themselves near me,
Yeah.
so that I can go and get them some food.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what all animals do. Is they just that's just all they focus on is food. But it is very lovely, to be thought of fondly by another creature.
Yeah.
That being said, if it's an animal that chooses you, you don't have any choice over the matter. So it's very nice for the pets that I own.
But you chose to own those.
Yeah. If I didn't choose to own them, say for example I wasn't a cat person.
Yeah.
And 2 cats had came over. I'm presenting.
You're presenting
the argument in the other way.
Oh,
I shouldn't really be doing this. But it would be very, very bad if an animal, say, I was allergic to. So if I was allergic to cats, and the cat was like, I'm your pet now," that would be terrible.
You wouldn't be bothered by the fact that it spoke to you. Just the
maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
That's one of the points I wanted to raise to you, Higgins. That was very much like sort of Prime Minister's question time. Wasn't it? Sorry. When it is a pet that chooses you, is it literally the pet turns up at the door, or you come home from work and it's just there, or are you involved in the choosing process to some extent? So are you told?
Oh no! You
go
not
in there and pick. There's a cat in there for you.
No. Or... You come home and it's there.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and despite your best efforts, it's never not going to be there.
It's never okay, and you get no warning about this, so you have no time.
No.
To sort of plan because obviously getting a pet, the financials, the logistics of it.
You need to go to Pets at Home. You need to buy a bowl and like a carrier and a bed and all the rubbish that comes with owning a pet.
If it's a cat, obviously.
Yeah. So yeah, but no choice at all. It's just there.
Yeah. And you just have to put up with it.
Yeah, and but it's immediately besotted with you.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
that is nice, but again, could be on the opposite side of things. You may not like cats at all, especially if it was like a gross animal as well, like a pet dung beetle.
Yeah, if it's an inappropriate pet.
Because imagine if this moved all its pooing as well.
Oh, yeah. So I can't imagine people have a pet dung beetle.
I bet some people do have a pet dung beetle. Well, isn't there like some other animal that just likes poo? Hippos.
In fact, the pet hippo story for you, right?
Okay.
I think this was in the Metro.
They're not really popular pet animals. I mean,
Well, allow me to enlighten you, Higgins. So, as I say, I think it was in the Metro. There was a couple that had chosen to have a pet, and they couldn't decide. Like the wife, I think, wanted a cat because they both worked, kind of crazy hours, and cats are a little bit more kind of independent. Whereas the husband has always grown up with dogs, wanted a dog, and kind of, was pushing for sort of team dog. And then they decided to compromise and get a hippo. Wow,
that is quite the compromise.
It is, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying hippos are like super dangerous.
They're very dangerous.
Very aggressive, very territorial.
I should just say this was in South Africa. This wasn't just like somewhere local.
Basingstoke.
Kingswood.
So yeah, hippos are super and like they kill quite a lot of people.
They do.
They're very aggressive.
Yeah,
and they do love poo.
Like the upkeep as well of a hippo. I don't really know.
I've seen one eat, not like in real life, but on like a really wild show.
Yeah.
Or
quality.
Like they fed like an entire loaf of bread to a hippo,
right,
and it was like it was eating like a dough ball, like the little ones you get at Pizza Express.
Just knocked it back.
Yeah, straight down.
Are they like
no sauce or anything?
Are they omnivores then, or like?
I think they're just big old like food dustbins.
Yeah,
you can give. They'll quite happily eat anything. They're not carnivores.
No. I didn't think they were, but I wasn't sure if they.
So it's mainly just fruit and stuff. But yeah, this hippo just demolished a huge loaf of bread. I've seen a similar one as well. Like you can look this up on YouTube, like a hippo eating a watermelon.
Wow.
Because and their jaws are so
they're
big and strong. It just destroys this watermelon.
Just chomps it.
But yeah, I can't imagine having one as a pet.
No.
They're bulletproof as well, hippos.
Wow.
So
yeah,
little
defense, I suppose.
Side fact for you there.
I want to know how you found that out, Higgins.
Well, put it this, I'm not allowed back at Longleat anymore. If you had a pet, that chooses you have no say in the matter.
Okay, so it just turns up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What way have you gone?
I've gone the same way, actually.
You'd rather have a pet that chooses you?
I'd rather have a pet that chooses me. Although I've maybe taken it down a slightly different angle. In the sense that I'd have a pet that chooses me because, like you said, it'd be lovely to have something that's so affectionate and loving. But I would create some kind of outsourcing pet system, almost like a pet loan company, because that was one of the reasons I thought if there is a pet that chooses someone else, there's that element of rejection that it's chosen someone else, and there are people that would be desperate to have a pet but maybe aren't able to, or like we talked about the financials of it. So I would maybe have the pet but also loan it out, give it to people that wanted company, a bit like a therapy dog type thing. Or I suppose you could get a therapy cat, kind of for people to experience a pet without having the downsides of cleaning up mess and all that kind of stuff, but also as a good, if they're thinking about getting a pet, it's almost like like a trial period sort of thing.
Oh yeah, that's what you mean.
They could see if
the pet
suited them.
But then they wouldn't have any say, or they might have a say.
Yeah,
but then it might be the opposite way around. The pet might prefer to be with someone else. So
I could push them away, couldn't I?
Yeah. Maybe this is like part of the duality. So you're the pet that becomes besotted with you. Is actually someone else's pet.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
doesn't want anything to do with them.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That.
It's quite a sort of a cliched thing, but like with neighborhood cats, there's always like a thing with a little old lady who feeds them extra dinners and stuff. We've actually got some cats that try coming up to our back door because the little old lady who used to live in our house before we lived there used to feed the cats. So lucky cats get 2 dinners.
Do you still feed them, Higgins, or have you?
Oh no. Just we fuss them and stuff
when
they come around, so that's always quite nice. But they can't give them any food.
Are the kind of I say stray cats? Are the other people's cats as affectionate to you and Abby as your own, or?
Oh yeah. But again, I think that's more like a food based thing than anything else. I don't think I could handle the rejection if it was the other way.
I was gonna say, why did you not pick the sort of choosing someone else?
Well, it would be good, and it would sort of relieve you of a lot of the sort of care duties, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess you'd still be responsible for like all his vet's bills and his food and stuff.
It would come home of an evening.
Yeah, but it
wouldn't
disappear again.
Yeah.
Think of it like as a I guess almost like it when you're a teenager, you just in and out all the time. And you just want to spend more time with your mates than at home.
I know what you mean.
So yeah, like that kind of thing. But I don't think I could handle that.
Would you see, like we've talked a lot about the kind of rejection of it choosing someone else?
Mm-hmm.
Would you see that choosing, if you know what I mean? Like see the cat going to someone else and being absolutely ecstatic at their presence, or would it just happen in a day?
Yeah. But the benefit there is you get to choose the animal. So
okay.
What animal would you choose? It's gonna go away with someone else.
Oh,
but what would you choose? And I'll throw this out even wider. You can choose a normal domestic animal. You can choose an exotic animal. You can choose a fictional animal.
Well, I mean, a fictional animal. Oh, no. I was going to say a fictional animal is going to be pointless because it'll just be a book that turns up at their, at their house. Right, let's see. Who do I hate the most? No, I think I would... If it was an animal that that chose someone else, I'd probably go cat. Not because I have anything against cats, but because I haven't really grown up with them, so I'm not as clued up on the kind of...
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Approach to them. You know what I mean? Like to the kind of care and upkeep of cats. So I would probably pick a cat, yeah, I think. What animal would you
see
in that situation?
you sort of teased it a little bit then when you said like, oh no, who do I don't like? Because your brain immediately went to like picking like an absolutely diabolical animal that you could just burden somebody else with.
Like a camel.
Yeah. Just imagine coming home and there's a camel just besotted with you, but someone else has been like, oh wow, sorry about this.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot you don't know about me, Higgins.
I think I'd have to go for so I want to say something like a dragon or something, but then I think it'd be quite cool to have a dragon companion.
I mean,
if you're going to have one.
You certainly would be burdening someone with a dragon. Let's
oh
be
yeah,
fair.
Definitely. It's almost like, in like old like series of Pokemon, and in like the games and stuff, you had to reach like a certain level before it sort of respected you. And it's that kind of thing. I think. But it's perpetual, and the animal always dislikes you and likes someone else. So I think I don't know. I'd have to go for, if it's going to be with someone else, I don't want to put them out too much. But then I don't want them to. I think maybe like a really disappointing animal, like a hamster or something,
or a sea monkey,
or something nocturnal.
Yeah.
Oh, sea monkey's a great one actually. Yeah. Right. There we go. Pet sea monkeys, but it prefers someone else. So the tank and everything would still be at my house. I'm not sure how the sea monkeys.
How would the sea monkey travel?
I don't know.
Rainy day.
Yeah. They'd have to wait for a big puddle. Can sea monkeys drive?
That's a Google search I'm doing later.
I'm doing it now.
Can
sea monkeys drive?
That's not.
But yeah, but because then I guess if they'd arrive at someone else's house.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised to learn that they cannot drive.
Oh, I'm disappointed.
They'd arrive at someone's house because they're so small. They wouldn't know that they were there. I guess as well that like it would fall on the other person to sort of make them cozy. Is that the right phrase? Make a sea monkey cozy?
I haven't really thought about the comfort of a sea monkey, to be honest.
So they'd have to have their own sort of like little tank set up and everything
at
home.
Like a temporary tank, wouldn't they? Yeah.
Oh dear.
Say we weren't trying to burden people with sea monkeys, which is a hell of a sentence. If you, as we said, the pet chooses someone else, but you get to choose the pet. If you knew someone who really wanted a cat, for example, could you then use that opportunity for them to become the person the cat loves? Yeah,
but then I don't think the cat would necessarily go for that person. He might have his own thing made up.
True.
So say for example.
Oh, of course, because they choose, don't they?
Yeah.
So you can't influence them.
Yeah. So you could your mate down the road could be like, oh, I really want a cat, and you'd be like, well, actually, my cat doesn't want anything to do with me, but your cat might want to go and hang out with someone in Thailand or somewhere.
I mean, fair play to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite the trek.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't see it for quite a while, especially, again, because I assume a lot like sea monkeys, cats can't drive.
I think I feel another Google search coming on.
Here we go. But again, you'll be surprised to learn that no, cats cannot drive.
Oh.
So I think you'd have to choose something that you wouldn't feel disappointed.
Yeah.
Losing so again, sea monkeys aside, I'd probably go with something nocturnal, like a hamster or a mouse. Because they're nice pets. They're good starter pets. They
are, yeah.
gateway pets.
Rabbits, I think,
Yeah.
maybe. They're not nocturnal though, are they?
But once there's very very limited amount you can do with a hamster. Or so I feel like, I don't know, the novelty would wear off quite quick.
True. Does the person that the pet chooses have any kind of say in the pet's life, if you know what I mean? Is it involved at all in like buying toys for it and
100%
stuff like that?
So well, I guess it's more down to how much you want to be involved with this animal that's just turned up. So say it's a hippo.
Yeah.
Let's here's a nice little thought experiment then. If you were to come home and there was a hippo here, how much effort would you go into making sure the hippo was having a good time?
What breed of hippo would it be, Higgins? Would it be the regular or pygmy hippo? Because I am partial to a pygmy hippo, not as like a sandwich filling, but as like like one of my favourite animals is genuinely the pygmy hippo.
Little tiny hippo. No, just regular. A full size big old hippo.
I mean, I'd be surprised. There'd be an element of shock.
I mean, what would you do to, like, how much effort would you put into making the hippo feel at home?
I mean, of course, I'd try and do that with any guest. I suppose the logistics of it would be a bit of a nightmare because I don't.
Bearing in mind, it won't leave you alone.
I mean, that's going to be tricky, especially when I'm going to work. That's a difficult one to explain.
Yeah.
You
could leave it at home, I guess. Because pets don't rarely go with people to work.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, you'd have to build like a great big pond in the garden.
Would, yeah. We don't have a lot of space here either, so no, that would be I'd struggle.
It would have to sleep in the garage.
Yeah.
Have to have one of those big old like things that you see on farms and in zoos where it's like a big circle with like a grate in it that they can sort of like a feeding.
Like a little trough sort of thing. Yeah.
That's the word.
That's the one. You said every other word but trough there. To be fair.
It's like a thing with food. It's like a big container that animals eat from.
If it wasn't, I mean, obviously that would be really difficult with the hippo. Are you then sort of contractually stuck to it, if you know what I mean? You can't ever get rid of it. Like, it will keep coming to you because it's chosen you, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Even
though someone else owns the hippo.
Yes.
So you own the hippo.
Yeah. So say for example, Dave down the road, he'll come up. It's a bit of an awkward question, but it's my hippo here.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I've just started building a pond in the back garden, and you'd be like, oh, all right. But then you could sort of like saddle him with any sort of vet's bill. So I guess you could invoice him for all the work you'd have to do.
I mean, that's tricky though, isn't it? That's a tricky situation.
I don't think there's a real way around it.
No.
If it was a cat or
Cats
a dog,
are more manageable. Yeah.
How much effort would you go to then?
Yeah, quite a lot. I think I would. As I said, predominantly I'm more a dog person, but I think if the cat was coming and was kind of affectionate to me, it would be a good way for me to kind of learn more about them and play with them. So yeah, I think I'd be up for that.
Oh, lovely. I don't think I've got any more questions for you. I
don't know if I've got any for you. To be fair, mate, I think we've exhausted it.
So how are we going to split this up? Who's going to?
I mean, we've both gone for the same thing.
Is it a return of the old coin flip?
That would be my initial thought, unless you want to go a point each.
Oh,
it's up to you, really, mate. I'm handing responsibility.
I might take my chances with a coin flip because this could be me back in the game.
It could be,
rather than keeping it 1 point ahead.
Have you got a coin?
No.
Give me a second.
Okay, Nathan's going to flip the coin.
I don't know. I stood up. Sorry. I stood up then. That was very formal.
Okay.
What do you want to call it?
I'm going to go with heads.
Okay. Oh, that was an awful toss. I'll do that again. Oh, it's tails, Higgins.
It's tails. You've crawled ahead.
I have.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
I've got. The streak is over.
Yes.
Oh, right, this is like when the Undertaker lost at WrestleMania all over again.
What a moment that was.
Oh wow! So 1917.
1917. I've got to be honest. That was probably one of the worst coin tosses the world has ever seen.
That's absolutely fine.
But I'm taking it.
The independent adjudicators will just look at the result as is.
Yeah, they'll just take it.
The coin did turn in the air, so there can't be any fault with that.
The problem is I did it with my left hand, which is not my stronger side, and I essentially just dropped a coin.
Oh dear!
Rather than tossed it, but still, I'll take the point.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
So that's episode 35.
That is.
Next week or next month or whenever we end up doing this again, we'll jump onto one of your questions or one that the spreadsheet of wonder spits out at us.
Absolutely.
It's competition time.
It is. Should we talk about the competition, Higgins? So we have had a competition entry while we were on lockdown. Actually, Jill sent us a fantastic video of Japanese horse racing, which I massively encourage anybody to watch. If you're feeling a bit low, feeling a bit down, need a bit of cheering up, YouTube, Japanese horse racing. It's incredible, Higgins, isn't it, to be fair?
It's fantastic.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, hard to describe. I can't really...
Yeah, so when you type it into Google, if you come across, or into YouTube, if you come across just regular old horse racing, that's the wrong video. Look,
step away from that.
Yeah, look for the weirdest one you can see. Maybe not the weirdest. Go for the one that just you see it and you're like, oh, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah,
and that's the one. You'll know it when you see it. I don't know how better else to describe it.
Yeah, I suppose the one clue, if you like, we could give is it doesn't involve real horses. That's how you know you're on the right video. If you're seeing an actual horse, no, step away from it. Have another look.
So the competition
is
to send us in a photo or a video of a duck or a horse, real or not real,
or virtual,
virtual in this case, or any content related to ducks or horses.
Yeah, we're not strict, are we, Higgins?
No. You can also send us in some questions, or a whole huge list of questions like Curtis did.
He did brilliant.
And you can win yourself a signed rubber duck, which is signed by who?
Signed by me.
And me. And you can do all of those things, and you can also get in touch with us and ask us any silly questions and send us competition entrants and all kinds of stuff by doing the following.
Yes, so you can tweet us at DSH Podcast. Our Facebook page is Duck-Sized Horses, or you can email us at ducksizedhorsespodcast@gmail.com. As Jack said, use those contact details to enter the competition. But just get in touch with us. I know we say it every time, Higgins, but we really love hearing from you. If you think there's something duck or horse related that we should be aware of, get in touch, let us know. If you have some kind of issue with one of our episodes, get in touch. We love to hear your answers as well. If you want to answer the question, give us your reasons, for or against, please do. Feel free. It's always great to hear from you, as I say.
Yes. And again, just another quick little throwback to towards the start of the episode. Thank you so much for bearing with over the past few months. I know also as well we had a live show planned.
We did.
For our birthday for episode 36. Needless to say that's not happening for a little while yet. No. But we will have a little brainstorm and figure out if there's anything fun we can do in the meantime.
Just a quick one, Higgins. You said you'd speak about the website because we've had a few people contact about that.
So our website is temporarily under maintenance. It will be back up soon, but it's ducksizedhorsespodcast.com.
It is, yes.
And you can hopefully visit it again soon. It's just having a little bit of a refresh and a refurbish. Lots of very long and boring reasons why. Mainly to do with how much the company that we were hosting with were charging.
Yes.
But hey, if there's any advertisers out there like, I don't know, Squarespace or any of the other ones you hear on other podcasts who wants to just chuck us some money for a nice little plug like we did then, you get that little 5 seconds for free. we'd like to take that.
Absolutely. And for those people who are, as I said right back at the beginning, if this is your first episode and you've enjoyed it and you want to hear more, search for us on YouTube or iTunes and you'll find all our episodes up to date, so that you shouldn't miss any while the website is going through its changes, shall we say.
Right, so little trip to Pets at Home then.
Absolutely, mate.
This podcast is part of Britpod Scene, an independent network of uniquely British podcasts that's always growing. Check out BritpodScene.com or BritpodScene on Twitter to find out more.